Nithyananda Gurukul, under the guidance of the rare living incarnation Paramahamsa Nithyananda, with a combination of ancient Vedic knowledge of life and the global standards of the most modern student-based education. The Bliss curriculum includes quantum memory, multiple intelligence, mind-body learning, and the whole brain learning. This will lead your children to blossom into high achievers and to be the most successful leaders of tomorrow.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, welcome to End Parenting. Today, very nice, welcome you all. It's a beautiful session that we are going to have. We spoke about many different webinars on stubborn children. We understood the context versus the identity that we need to hold for them and how stubbornness can be diverted to the proper right understanding where they becomes an expansion. Then we had a webinar on end parenting where we spoke about the teenagers. One of the toughest thing that parents feel handling a 16, 17-year-old teenagers, where we understood how to make them responsible, how to make them part of our family, and how to create a beautiful process that they will start becoming one with us and start listening to us. So these were the previous webinars that we had. Today we are going to be talking about a very beautiful topic, one of my favorite topic, because I'll let you know soon why it's such a favorite topic. We are going to be talking about special children. Special children are all around us and we live with them, we see them all over the place and we experience them. And as mothers, it's so beautiful that you are in this position, that you've been selected, chosen by these children to be born to you. So today we are going to see how these mothers have a greater advantage over other parents. The mothers and the fathers of special children have the ultimate potential and advantage, even much greater than the so-called normal kids' parents. So we're going to see a beautiful webinar, and we're going to see step by step what is that we need to understand, what we need to do to coach these kids, and how we need to present to the world. So all this will bring us a deeper understanding and an completion space to be who we are. The special kids need to be standing up in life with their special talent. That's why they're called special kids. They are not called special kids because they have something less. They're called special kids because they have something special in them. So today we'll see how and what we need to understand by this whole space, that we need to appreciate so many things which we miss out as parents. We're going to see how we can make it as an advantage versus a disadvantage for us. Slow and slow, we're going to understand much deeper truth, and Swamiji has guided us so beautifully, and more than guided us, I should say, in this, guided Advaita so beautifully, step by step into being an amazing personality. Because I'll tell you soon why I said that statement. With a lot of surprises in this webinar, I welcome you all and thank you for being here today. And we're going to, first and the foremost, I would say, we're going to understand the advantage of being a special kid. I want to tell you a little story about Ma Advait. Ma Advait was a special kid myself, and she did not know to read and write properly. She was not able to remember things. She's not able to coherence things. She did not understand the distance, how the vehicle travel and how I have to cross a road. Basically, Advaita was called a dyslexic child, but in those days they don't have a word for this. So went through a lot of ups and downs in the life, but what happened and how life presented to Advaita and how Advaita understood the life was so beautiful. So this is where I want you to understand how it can be so beautiful. So the first thing I'm going to speak is the advantage of being a special child. Advantage of much better than other people in the world, how beautifully we stand out and we are so special in this whole space. Again and again I'm going to say we are special in the terms that we are unique. We are so beautiful in the space we are called the special kids. So I'm going to be not going into the detail of autism or any ADHD, but I will answer those questions soon. But first we are going to understand the advantage. Let's start with the beautiful surprises that we can understand as a special kid. A special kid is very unique. Each special kid is very unique, and they authentically display that by being who they are. Each one in the world are unique. We are so beautiful. We are so like a flower, like all these fingers. How these fingers are there in life. None of them are same. Everybody is unique, but still they work as a team. That's how special kids are there. And you cannot say the thumb is so short or the pinky is so small. We need all 5 fingers to function our life. Even one finger is hurt, we find it very difficult. Same way is our life. Everybody is part of a beautiful bouquet. Bouquet cannot be all same flowers, and bouquet will be so beautiful if you had a leaf at the back and through few colors with the roses. So always a bouquet is tied up in a satin ribbon. Everything adds to the bouquet. It's not just a piece of rose, right? Similarly, everywhere even uniqueness is expressed, and as a team it becomes very beautiful. So all the autism kids, all the special kids in the world, we have a beautiful life on planet Earth. Only thing we have to understand that, and the parents have to really realize that. What are the advantage of these special kids? The first one is uniqueness. Uniqueness they authentically display that they are unique in this world. How they are projecting themselves to the world is the way they are authentically they are. So the second part is the authenticity they hold. They are telling the world, these are my beautiful uniqueness and these are my issues which I am displaying in front of you. Like I said, reading, writing and all these languages were very difficult for Madhvait. Madhvait had lots of hesitant speeches. No, I had to go through so many things to understand how to talk, how to relate, how to read, how to write. But I understood the whole thing was, I'm so authentic with my issues, where so many people don't know so many things, but they are hiding behind everything. These special kids are who they are inside, who they are outside. The more and more the inside, the inner space of you and the outer space of you gets aligned, you are so beautiful and unique. Because you project yourself. You are not a hypocrite. You are not somebody who talks at the back. You are just expressing who you are because you don't know how to hide. Because it's too big an issue that you can't hide. You can only laugh it around. Man, you have to tell the world that this is what I am. It's like a pregnant woman can never hide the pregnancy, right? It's like that. We are here and this is what we are. So we are very authentic in life because we cannot hide the inner image and the outer image. How we are inside and how we are outside. The whole images give us an advantage of being very authentic in this world. Same way it gives us a unique space how we can express ourselves in a very unique way that we are here for. The third most beautiful thing that we are is very sensitive. Like example of a blind man. He is very sensitive, so his listening and hearing is very sharp. He is able to do that much better than a person who has both his eyes. Same way, the sensitivity that happens in the special children, they are so aware of things around them. They know what's happening around them in a very detailed way. They're able to remember things much deeper. Their memory is very good because they are very sensitive. They know what's happening. Whether they recollect it or they want to use it or not, that's a secondary issue. Are they interested in it? That's a secondary issue. But their sensitivity is very high. They know how people feel, how people are behaving. Everything they are able to grasp in a one big picture. So they are very sensitive to everything. And because they are sensitive, it becomes a little difficult sometimes for us to handle. These special kids have runny nose or cough, cold all the time because they are sensitive to everything. They are sensitive to the people also. That is an added advantage of how aware and high listening they have in life. That gives them one extra help in learning things actually better. They're able to grasp things and learn things much better. But as we go, we'll understand how they miss out also. So the fourth thing that is so beautiful is they are highly courageous. See, if you're standing on the stage and you need to talk to an audience, you get frightened. But it is like that for the special kid all the time. Whenever they stand up in front of friends, family, everywhere, they have to pick up their courage because they know nobody is going to accept them the way they are because they are so unique and so different. People are going to look at them in a different way, mock at them, bully them, tease them. So they have to have courage in the world. So they're very courageous and because they're constantly courageous. They're able to take a lot of risk and make it happen in life. When they take up leadership quality, they are the leaders. They are very successful because of the courage they hold. They can be anything they want. They know they can stand up, be different. And every leader in the planet Earth has done something different. That's why they are leaders. Otherwise, they'll be followers. The leadership itself shows the unique space they occupy. And these children are leaders as born leaders. So they are at an advantage because of all these factors that we just spoke. They are unique, they're authentic, they're sensitive, they're courageous, they're able to hold a leadership space. Because as a leader, you need to be very sensitive, you need to be very authentic, you need to have lots of courage, and you need to be unique. So these are the qualities which they have, but we never see these as an advantage. We only misunderstood them all the time. We only got confused as to how they're going to fit in this planet Earth, how they're going to survive, how they're going to step ahead and walk ahead. So these are the beautiful things that they hold, and they have the extra special in them. Usually each special child has something extraordinary in them. Their memory is extraordinary, or they have a music skill which is extraordinary, or they have some talent which is amazing. So these kids are able to beautifully come out of an extraordinary space, because they live in a different dimension, I would say, in a different zone, not in a dimension, but we can say a different zone, where they look at the world. Instead of just living in the world, they're able to look at the world. They're able to see themselves as outside the picture. That gives a greater spiritual understanding to everything. They understand much deeper because they don't get into the chaos. They stand out. They're able to visualize everything what's happening in front of them. They're able to see how beautiful life is and what's happening with people, where they get incomplete, what is the anger, what is the frustration. Everything they are able to see outside. That's why they have a very beautiful smile. Especially these children have a wonderful smile, with lots of innocence and incompletion. They know this whole world don't understand, but they are okay with that. That's how the people are, and they are complete with that. That's why they laugh openly and loudly, and so beautiful they are. The smile that they have is something very unique and very exceptional. If they smile, even they don't know to control their saliva, it will be dripping. But it's so beautiful, the smile is, because it comes from a very innocent world. So these are the most beautiful part of a special child. First, the parents have to understand, hold the space of such beauty that exists in every special child. I'm going to be going through all this step by step. So first I want you to understand how these special kids are very special. Again and again reiterate into these buckets of how special they are. First, don't underestimate a special child. I will tell you what happened when the special child was able to hold the same space. The parents were able to hold the same space, and what happened to them in their life. And including me, I'm going to give you examples how these special children can be leaders of tomorrow, how you can hold them, and to what extent we can bring out their best into the world. The world is always with new things, and this is also now accepted as one of the things which exist in the world. And these special children, if they handle beautifully and groom beautifully, they're going to be leaders of tomorrow, much more than anybody that we know of. Leonardo was a special child. He was an autistic child, but even now we speak about him, the art. One hand he can draw and one hand he can write. So the amount of talent that they have, if they express in the right way, they're going to be geniuses. And saying that, we are going to go to the part 2, where we are going to understand about the misunderstanding. First, we understood the advantage of being a special child. Now, I'm going to be talking about the misunderstanding that goes on in the special child's life, where we make them very incomplete. And also the world, and they don't know how to raise out of it. That's why they finally fall into the incompletion. They constantly get confused and diverted into saying it is impossible. When everybody says impossible, life becomes impossible for them. So we have to understand how we misguide them, how we put them into incompletions of how they should be versus how they are. And please understand, all the parents of special kids, we can apply all this to our kids also, and it will take us in much higher. If your kids are already fine and you're going to understand these things, it's going to become more advantage for you. Understanding the special children, you understand much deeper signs of children. The space of a child expands into much more deeper space where really the children exist. How the children starts their life, how they get groomed in the life, and how they project in their life. All this, the parenting itself, is understood in a much beautiful way. So don't miss out on how we miss out in understanding the misunderstanding that goes on in leading these special children. The first one, the special children are deprived. Deprived not in the sense of they don't have something, but what they are deprived, they're deprived again and again, putting them into a space of impossibility by the incompletion the parents hold. Again and again I'm going to go over this, how the parents hold a very frustrating incompletion. I will tell you the story. It's been told many times, but I'm going to say this again. When my child, he broke his hand, and he just took his hand, picked up his hand and walked 2 floors up and just threw the hand like, as though it's a small toy which is broken. He said, "Mama, this toy is broken," right? Like that. He said, "Mama, the hand is disconnected. Kind of fix this hand, kind of." I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do with this. And I got the fear, incompletion, and I just moved back, physically moved back and said, "You are doing what you're doing is right, but I am not in the space of handling this. I have tremendous fear and I'm totally shaken. I just need few minutes." That's when my husband comes and carries him and we go to Swamiji. But the whole thing that I was going through and what he was going through is what you have to understand deeply. The whole thing he was understanding is something is broken, it needs to be fixed. As practical, as complete as it can be. I exaggerated the problem, putting chaos and confusion into me, bringing the delusion and fear and illusion. I was totally shattered. That is the truth. Because we exaggerate and add ears, nose, mouth to everything that need not be there. We are just so confused. What to take and what to do and how to act. At least I did not put the fear in him. I stepped back. I stepped back in saying, I am wrong, but I need some time to become right. That is the authentic space I had with my kid at that point. It's very important, especially those moments he's going to remember for his life. And I need to act in a right way. But I am here with all the fear. That's exactly happens. A special kid's mom, like my mom, always was trying to protect me. That is what I call deprived. That is where the spiritual concept is all broken. By just protecting me, if it's like this, if I protected my son from running next 1 year and not move his hand and not move around, just sit and play, that is jailing him, putting him in a jail. No, that is bonding him and like tying him to something. Completely wrong. That is what we are doing mentally, putting them into a space where they should not be put in. We deprive of children what they can do. Just because they are special, it doesn't mean they don't understand. They understand very well. They do not communicate that to us. They do not express that, but they understand it very beautifully in their own space. That is what we don't understand. We just deprive of their possibility. First thing we have to understand as parents, as today I am going to understand and decide. I am not going to deprive of my child's possibility. I am going to stand up with what he can do in life. If he wants to become like dolphin, use his ears for seeing things, I am going to be there for him. If mother is so confident, then the child will really close his eyes, tie his eyes, and will be able to do things with his ears. There is lots of videos on Ben in YouTube where his eyes are taken off because of surgical issues. The surgery has been done and they have taken the eyes off. And he uses his ears like dolphins to based on the echoes. He is able to understand everything in the world. He makes small sounds and he listens to the whole thing. And after listening to the whole thing, he is able to detect even a television computer game. So that is the capability of a human. But we deprive them by saying the don'ts and do's. Even as a normal mom, normal child's mom, we are only depriving them, not bringing up them. We are continuously only bringing down them, as Mamiji says, because constantly where we hold them is only the safety and security we are trying to do, which is not actually protecting them, but binding them into all incompletions. All the incompletion that we hold is what we give them. That's the only thing we are able to express, because we unconsciously do that. We are not in the listening space of where the child exists. We get confused in chaos, and we don't have the clarity, and there is no lesson before what Swamiji has given us now to understand these things. Now with this clarity, we can do much beyond. We can take it to the much next level. The second thing we need to understand is, we think these special kids are not smart. They are over smart. They are not smart, but they are over smart. They understand much deeper than all of us. It's only thing, their interest is not there. The practice is not there. We think they don't know what to do. We think they cannot achieve things. Lot of autism kid, ADHD kid, all kinds of kids who are not able to do, we are able to make a difference when we work on them. It's really possible, and really we have seen a difference. One important fact I need to tell all of you that I learned after so many years is, all these autism kids, what we do is a behavior report. We study, okay, they are not able to speak properly, they are not able to look into the eyes, they are in their own world, so they are all called special kids. They are all autistic kids. This autism is labeled, but I would say still labeled, but not done a thorough research. If you have a heart problem and you go tell them, I'm breathing very deeply, I'm not able to sleep, I'm not able to go for a walk, oh, then we should do a heart surgery. They don't do. They really go and take the full picture of the heart by doing a lot of tests. Like that, we need to make sure these kids are given a complete test. And when the neuroscientist, one of the beautiful neuroscientists, she went ahead and did all the tests. When she tested, she found a beautiful, amazing result that all the autism parents will get an advantage now. This result showed 50%, that is what I'm saying, 50% of the kids have no autism. When they tested the brain, there was something else there. What was there? that parents never saw and the society never saw. Just go ahead, label them and put them into incompletion. But see, when you are in complete space, you will open new dimension, finding the solutions. But when we are incomplete, we are making the things worse. Unfortunately, that's what happens. And that's what my mom did too, making it so bad that I was feeling so awful that I had to go through so many surgeries. 5 surgeries I went through because of the incompletion that I had with the world. I thought something wrong with me and I have to be protected again behind somebody. I cannot stand by myself. I cannot do things myself. So many incompletions come out. That is where we miss out. Instead of giving them an confidence, we break the confidence that is already exist in them. We are so lost because we never knew how to handle. How to handle a kid itself, we are learning now. How to handle a special kid, obviously we don't know, and the society just goes blaming the parents and the vaccination community. All kinds of things happen. But they never thought they have to do a brain scan. A real EEG will tell them what is wrong with these autistic kids. When they found out the 50% of the kids do not have autism, then what do they have? Why are they behaving like an autistic kid? They have something called brain seizures. A small, tiny seizures which happens inside the brain is what making them go blank, not able to communicate, forget things, all the things an autistic kid might have. So that is what is the closest they found out. And it's such a beautiful thing. These brain chasers can be handled with the medicine. When they are handled with the medicine, these kids do as good as any other kid in the world. Except for these seizures, moments, they are as equal and as extraordinary as any other kid. They are not autistic kid. First relief I want to give you is that the autistic kid, 50% is brain seizures. That's what the study says. So you can go check with your doctor how these kids are actually holding autism, or they have these tiny brain seizures which causes an equivalent autistic space, but it is not autistic. There is dyslexic, there is ADHD, so many things which is not autistic. So first figure out what exactly is the problem. So don't say they are not smart, they don't know things, they are lost in the world. They have potential, they have something extraordinary, but we need to understand that. Just because we don't understand, we cannot label them. As parents, first thing we label them who they are. And then we all gets more depressed because we label them, and this is what society says. First we need to understand how we need to take this forward so beautifully for them and enjoy the whole experience. We have got the gift of special children. So we are the people who are an extra special parents, not feeling low down. That is putting us into more trouble. If they don't read, if they don't talk, if they don't understand, they're going to become Einstein. He didn't do all this till 7 years. Especially boys' parents have to understand. They do things little slower than the girls who start reading at probably the age when she is 8 months. So understand very clearly, there is a bigger thing which is going to happen. Men have more stability and long time they're going to take it seriously and go ahead. So nothing wrong if the boys are going to take longer time in understanding things and speaking and writing and reading, but they're going to be amazing. So just wait and watch for the whole thing. Next we are going to be understanding how they are left all alone versus that's what we feel versus they feel they are part of a whole picture. So when we say they are left all alone, we think they are totally away from the society, but they are so independent. They are so independent in understanding how They need to do things on themselves. They repeat themselves. They just do what they want in a corner. They are lost in their space. That's how they are. And why not they be like that? And repetition and things like that is the way they project themselves. Like the elephant has a trunk. It doesn't feel shy and it doesn't say, oh, giraffe has a long neck, but I have a trunk. Everything is unique. If you see in animal kingdom, every animal is unique, right? And they have their own speciality. Like this, these kids are special and they have their unique talent and unique capability. Let's not label them and let's understand them much better. Yes, I'm talking about the parents themselves. They don't do it in front of the kids, but they label them inside them. My kid, this is how my kid is. I'm so lost. I feel so difficult. This is not what I want. How does this land for me? Everything was fine in my pregnancy. What is wrong with my life? Why me? All these questions will be stopping when you stop the word labeling inside you. You will feel complete, you will be extraordinary, you will be happy, you will be glad that you had such a wonderful, special kid. Having kids such itself is such a beautiful thing. No, a beautiful being has landed on planet Earth, and we are going to see how beautiful they are. Not label them, make them feel that they don't belong in this world, not make them feel they are something wrong with them, and we have to protect them and make them feel like ugly duckly. This is what happened to me till I met Swamiji. I thought I am an ugly duckly, that I can't do these things, and I'm so lost and so angry on the society. But after I met Swamiji, I knew the world is full of ugly ducklies. And there is no problem in saying that, because I'm so confident now. I'm so complete about it that everybody has their flaws and they have their disadvantage and they are sitting incomplete inside them. So my incompletion is just another incompletion. So whether I hold this or not is my idea. So why do I hold this whole thing? I can drop it as I go along. So I felt very confident when I knew everybody is holding something which is a disadvantage for them. So they are not alone in this world, they are only extraordinary in this world. Change the words, sit and write the words, what all you think about them, and say, why me? Instead of that, stand up and say, why not them in the world? How beautiful this extraordinary flower, unique flower that I have got. I'm going to show the world how beautiful they are. I'm going to stand up and show the world what they can do, what they can be, how extraordinary, excellent my kid is. This is a space you have to hold. Every parent have to hold this, but these parents have to really hold this, because they get so incomplete, and they lose the whole space and they sit and cry, and the kid just watches the whole thing getting more and more incomplete about the whole thing. That is where it's a big disadvantage. So now we are going to see, we saw the advantages. We saw the uniqueness, we saw the authentic space, we saw the sensitiveness, we saw the courage they have, and the extra special talent they have. Now we saw the misunderstanding that we hold for them inside us as a space. They are deprived, we think they are not smart. We deprive them because we don't hold the proper space. We think they are not smart. We think they don't understand things in their life and they are all alone, left alone. They don't know what to do. And finally we think they are weird, they are different, why this happened to me, how it can be happening to me, what are the problems that happens to these kids that it has to happen to me. All kinds of misunderstanding that we hold, we have to complete. So now we're going to see what we miss out. This all we understood, but now we are going to see the big part of the main puzzle, the heart of the puzzle piece itself. How beautiful they are, we saw. And what are the misconceptions which we had, we saw. Now what we miss out. We still have not spoken about what is the final piece which fits in, which makes this whole thing complete. If you understand what you miss out in your life, anywhere, you always will be speaking authentically. Because we always only see what we didn't do, what are the reasons to it, what are the complaints to it, and all that. But we never see what is that we miss out. And we land up whole thing as a mess. Then we label, complain, blame, all this happens. But whenever you listen to anybody, whenever we are in the listening space to what we missed, we are very much in the listening space of what happens. Swamiji beautifully guides us how authentic listening happens when we are able to catch what we missed in the conversation. Then when you talk into the other person's what missed out, he just gets complete. He just gets fulfilled. He immediately says, yes, I didn't think of that. That's what happens. And he simply listens to whatever you want to do in life. That's the beautiful space when you start understanding what you miss out. In this whole picture, we have not still talked about, we only talked about the blaming game and what are the advantage the kids have. Now we are going to say what we are missing out as parents of special kids. What they are, we understood. I gave my own example. I'm dyslexic myself, and reading, writing, everything is a mess. Even speaking. Till I met Swamiji, I had the hesitant speech. And after I met him, it all gave me the confidence that everybody is unique, everybody is beautiful. And now I feel so confident that what I hold for myself. Same way, we need to make every child understand that space. What do we don't do? What is that we miss out? Let's see now. First thing I want to tell you all is to stand up for them. How they are is not important. How you're going to stand up. Like Ben's mom. Like the day I did when my child broke his hand. How we need to stand up for them. We need to make them feel confident. They should not any time bring their autism or problems as their escapism route. And we are not going to stand with that. Be very clear. That is the first thing we have to understand. Because it's all in the mind. And the mind is so powerful that we can go beyond so many things in the world. So these are very simple steps that we need to take today to train them, that make their impossibility as possibility. As a mother, if you hold, that's all is enough. In completion space, in complete space, you have to hold this. If you're hiding yourself and try to project in front of them, they are much smarter. As I told you, their listening is authentic. So they're going to catch you and say, Mama, I know you are sad inside. You go cry in the room and you come here and tell me that I should do this. Does it make any sense? That's what the conversation will be going inside them. They will not express, but that's what they will. They are very smart. They have a very beautiful listening space. They can go extraordinary. That is where they have an advantage. So don't try to fool any special kid. You cannot fool them. You cannot just do some small gimmick play in front of them and they are not going to buy that. They'll just simply laugh at you and work with you. But there's something more in them which you need to understand. They are very intelligent. First, from that space you have to start working. So stand up very authentically for them. When they try to divert, saying they are something different, don't accept. Come in the front. You are a leader. Now you have to take the big advantage and make it happen. Come on, do it in front of us. You can do. That is a very important thing. You're going to stand up for them, make it happen. The second thing you have to understand, make them practice, practice and practice. Again and again, if they practice, they are going to be extraordinary. But they are very lazy. They know they can escape saying that is impossible for them. So don't agree with them. They are a possibility when you work with autistic kids. Give them lots of practice, lots of possibility in life, even if they mess up. It's okay if they are doing finger painting with their nose. It's okay, so what? But they have to do it. There's no option. You do what you want, but do it. That's how we have to stand up. And you can do it. Just don't shy away thinking you can't do it. I know very well that you can do it. I've seen you do it. Come on, get up and do it. I'll also do with you. So that way, when we encourage them, they feel very confident. And step by step, talking to them makes it happen. These special kids, lots of talking is required because they already feel that something is wrong and we can just get lazy with that. And as they grow, they get more lazy. But no, they are not going to be lazy. They are going to do it. Even as a normal kid, if you leave them, they're going to get lazy and they're going to put some blame and say, teacher is not good, that's why I'm not studying math. I don't like physics because the teacher is not teaching me. Some reason they bring. Even as a normal kid. Though these special kids, for everything they have to do work hard, right? So they do not want to be ready for that. No, they have to practice, practice and practice. No laziness. Laziness is what is special problem in them, not the special problem as autism. So make them stand up, make them do it. Their brain can understand and be possibility. Again and again practice have to be done and the possibility has to be given. They have to be thrown into the front light and make them dance. Yes, you have to do it now. Let's see how you do it and I'm going to enjoy the whole process. Don't push them and make them angry and upset, but make it so beautiful that you work with them and come on, I'll dance with you. You can also dance. Come on, let's do it. Make it a confidence rather than a punishment. I don't want them to be in the punishment, but they know very well if you're doing with a confidence, you're making a happening in them. You're making a possibility in them. That is the most important space. Next, handling when they're getting bullied. This is a very important concept because usually special kids laugh and very funny they are. They have unique things that they say and everybody laughs at them, mocks at them, bullies them. All this keep on happening in their life. But they know very well, they also laugh with them, have fun with them. At the end of the day, they'll come and say they are incomplete because this one said this, that one said this. Be very clear first thing, they have forgotten half the things. So they are actually very complete, but they want to hold this anger on the society because they are bullying. So they have an advantage of being very complete. First, we need to understand that they have a higher advantage of being complete because the special nature they have. They forget even the bad things. So they forget, they forgive. So it's such a beautiful space they already hold. So don't buy them saying they're getting bullied, that's why they're not doing something, they are very upset of this. No. Tell them you complete it. If somebody says that, you complete. You also bully me, you also do all that to me. They also have fun. They also make the mom run, do things, all the things all the time. So be very clear to them. If somebody is bullying, you come and complete. And I'll also talk to everybody, but this is how everybody is. Everybody makes fun and join the fun. Why you want to feel separate? Why you want to feel offended? You don't hold that space. So talk to them and make them handle the bullies. So they start laughing with them instead of getting laughed at them. So that is where you need to shift their cognition in talking into them, and you should understand it's perfectly fine, all these happens in the world, and this is how we all grew up. Not just them, but so many kids with so many things hold a different space. They get bullied, they get beaten, so many things happen. This is part of life. Don't worry, get upset and then mess up everything else. If you're really interested in making a difference in the child, you have to work with me today. You have to understand this space today, because the mothers hold that space, the children hold a beautiful space, causing a beautiful reality in them, becoming the boss of their reality. It's very important that we need to be authentic and integrated with what we want. If we do not know what we want, we are going to mess up in the child's life. So be very clear, put it down as a plan, and then again go back to the plan and see whether you're doing that and not messing up in creating anger and incompletion and throwing the child also into that incompletion because of our incompletion that happens. They are going to be facing all these things and with the close relatives and close friends, and it's perfectly okay. That's how world is. They're going to catch somebody and bully. Now they're catching our kid. That's all. Next, work on their talents. Each child is unique and they've come down for their purpose and talents. So see where they are feeling confident, complete, and they're feeling emotionally great. So if they are very good in music, take them to music class. It's okay they miss out few lessons in the school, but if they do what they like, they'll be a lot more happy and settled. They can express themselves much more deeper and valuable to the society and themselves. What they want is what we all are craving, and these special kids know that very clearly. Their talents are really shown and start working towards that, so they feel very complete. And the last but not the least, the most important, give them the space that I can do anything, and I will be able to express anything in a most beautiful way. Every small thing, whether picking up small glass, drinking water without spilling, or it's going out and following the etiquettes, whatever it be, and whatever they mess up, hold the space as parents for any child. I can do it. I am capable of. Never go back in that space. When you build this confidence, every Gurukul kid, we have a beautiful school here in Bidadi Ashram. Swamiji has created the school as unique and as possible for all the children, and we have these children who are trained to hold that space continuously. They are very authentic, like what we said. They are very complete without having anger and sadness. They have the space that anything is a possibility. Anything they say a possibility. That is what we say as Brahmana. Otherwise we are Brahmins, are one who are held in the space that anything is a possibility. There is no way that something is missed out. There's no way that I am saying that this is not a possibility for me. How I'm able to hold the space is very important. As parents, and as we discuss the whole thing today, we have to understand this. And the most important thing I want to tell you, and I want you to understand and contemplate in life, is this very important point. The world is not going to see them as you can hold them. The world will see them as impossible, they cannot do it, they are so different, something wrong with them. That's how the society is built. But that cannot put you in incompletion or your child in incompletion. And you cannot say why they don't understand. Now I am going to ask you a question. How many of you here are left-handers? And how many of you understand a left-handers? Left-hand people are people who finds it so difficult to open a door because it's always for a right-hander. Just imagine holding like this and pulling the door. You do this for 1 week, you'll understand what a twist and turn and dance you have to do that. But I am sure none of you realized this, even though you have friends of left-handers who are trying to open the door and doing it very funny way. But this is what happens. We never realize what exists. We are always so occupied with what we know. And even as close off as our own friends, our left-handers, we never saw this. We never experienced this because it's not in our cognition as an issue. So there are so many people in the world who do not cognize this. They only see this as another picture. They do not cognize means what? They do not understand. They do not perceive. There is an issue, emotional component. There is something more in this whole picture. They only see this as a disadvantage. And this is how the society holds. But we cannot go on saying why the society holds this way, how the society holds this way. We can only say this is our misunderstanding the society has. That nobody has that level of awareness, sensitivity to understand. Even as close as how we missed out on these left-handers trying to open a door. None of the door in the world is for a left-handers. It's only for the right-handers. And then the left-handers have to do like all kind of a twist to open the door. So let's be authentic today to understand this whole picture. Let's be understanding in the space the mother should hold. My mom always thought that I am deprived of something, I cannot do something. I was there in 6th standard when I had to go for a language class and this Hindi class, and I was so mad with the teacher because I understood nothing. All the letters were dancing and I had no idea what is happening, and there's an exam with my 6th grade, and I'm so frustrated to go to a class where none of them taught me what to do, nor I understood anything. So I go to the class, I take the sheets of paper, write all the letters in my own way, and randomly all over the page, pages after pages after page, I write like lots of page and just give it to the teacher and disappear. And then my mom is called for an interview. What happened to your child? What's going wrong with your child? Because I'm so frustrated, nobody understands what's going on. I created my own fun out of the whole thing. But of course, I got thrown out of the class. Then I had to go to a French class to learn French instead of Hindi. But the whole story is, I was very clear, these teachers don't understand anything. The world don't understand me. But don't bring this into the child's world. Help the child to break the laziness, learn the lessons, and go present it as much as they can do. Work with them. That's the only extra mile the parents have to run for the special child. But nothing else is extra. Hold the space, make it happen for the child, continuously practice, practice, practice. Hold the space, I can. Be so sure they are a leader. They can come out, and I can show you today a beautiful video of how this child has grown into a leader today. So saying that, I will have a break now, first with a workshop. I'll give you 3 questions. First we'll go through the question, understand the question answers, and then we will go into the video and I'll explain about the video. First, let's get some pencils and papers. Okay, the first question is, please write all your failures. I mean the failures is what I say failures here is where you felt that you don't want to be a failure, getting 2 marks less or 4 marks less or fail in a test. I'm not talking about any other big failure that you had in a business. I'm talking simple failure. As a child, when you had a failure, what you felt, how incomplete you were, and what was happening, what was going on in your life. Because this is a very big problem, is because the parents are so smart and they always get the best mark. Now they see their child getting 2 marks, 3 marks. They are like, how can this happen in my life? It's not your life, it's the child's life. Understand very clearly, it's perfectly okay. When I did this Hindi test, my mom was taken off. She didn't know what to do in life. But then I said, I'm not going to go to the class. And she said, no, who's even letting you to go to the class? You understand very clearly, you've been no dismissed from the class. You cannot go to that class. The teacher said, please go to French class, do something. Don't ever come to my class. So when my mom said this, I was very happy. So understand very clearly how she went through, what all she went through, because she was always the best student. Even 2 marks made a difference. But here I am with all the mess up in life, and I'm feeling so confident that I know what I'm doing and what I'm right. But the mother is feeling so horrible. So first you have to complete that space, because your expectation is not going to work here. So first thing, write your own failures, small failures that you wanted to achieve, but you went on a stage, you want to sing, but landed up, messed up, whatever. So you can write all your incompletion with respect to your failures. The second thing, your own incompletion in holding this space for the child. How and where and all you felt, why me? Why you felt, why me? Actually, every parent feels like this. After getting married, first we feel that, and then when we get kids, we are very clear, why me? But that's always life. And understand, everybody is in the same picture. It's not just you alone. That's when we understand things much better in life. Why me? So you're going to complete with that. Because of your child, nothing has changed in your life. You become more beautiful in your life. First understand, first get the confidence, and then write that. Okay, any incompletion with your child the way he is. And you're going to write it very authentically, because your son or daughter is very smart. She can understand, or he can understand. If you're going to make a fool writing just the superficial things. So write very authentically when you feel why this child is the way the child is. Even as a slow learner, parents can write. All the parents have to write this. All of you who are viewing, as a teacher, as a parent, please go ahead and write this question as your incompletion, why me? The third part of the question is, what are the steps you're going to take from now, from this seminar, from this webinar, how you're going to hold your space for your child, and how you're going to make this as a possibility in your child's life. From this webinar, I'm going to see so many autistic kids becoming normal kids and taking it more in their life, and coming back and saying, see what happened by just one webinar that Swamiji has to give us, how Swamiji holds these kids, how he works on these kids, and how he makes them as a possibility of tomorrow. Even as autistic kids, he only sees as possibility in human being. He never ever feels something wrong with somebody. He sees the possibility in somebody as a potential available, no, things which they can express, and coach them there. Everybody is unique. Nobody is feeling anything left out. Just because they're over unique, that everybody knows they are unique, doesn't mean they are wrong, right? So let's understand that space, and let's write a beautiful plan, prioritize it, and what is the action we are going to take. So these three are the questions. Let's take a break of 15 minutes and come back. Thank you. It's so nice that we shared a lot of things. First, I just want to go over that we went through the advantage, then we went through the misunderstanding, then the puzzle, main puzzle is what we miss out. Like we don't understand the left-handers, there's so many millions of people don't understand our child, and it's perfectly fine because the cognition doesn't even exist. So understand very clearly how beautifully we have understood today the big puzzle, what we are missing out. The missing out is the main part of the whole thing. How we have missed out to understand that giving them lots of practice, giving them confidence and standing up for them, who they are, and expressing the talent they have and handling them beautifully when they are bullied or they are again and again told they are wrong. When we are in that space, when we hold that I can space for them, nobody tells me, the Ben's mom actually tells the video, nobody tells me that my son cannot do something. He can do everything in the world. There's a possibility exists, he can do it. When mom is so confident, your child is a leader. That's all you need to hold. Nothing else. A complete space. A space is more powerful than any training that you want to go through in the world. The space can move mountains. Believe me, and start doing that and see the expression that happens in the world. Now I'm going to take some questions from the parents. So the first question I have here is about handling the ADHD kids. How we are going to handle the ADHD kids in a outside place. See, I'm not going to go into the particular problems, but I can give you overall clarity how you can hold them in a normal school, explaining this to the teacher, understanding and finding a sensitive teacher who can help you through the whole thing. See, special kids trainers are more sensitive than a usual teacher. So if a special kid teacher is existing, go put them in that school where they will be sensitive to these kids. They are so beautiful. They themselves hold a beautiful space, and it is an advantage for a normal child. So when you talk to them how your child is, they will be able to help the child with all the multiple intelligence as possibility. If they do not learn, for example, I never learnt anything in my life. Yeah, I say that very clearly. I was impossible to learn some paragraph and retell. Impossible for that. Okay, I told my brother this is not something it will work. So my brother always sat with me and gave me ideas, tricks and ways for me to remember, for me to do things differently, for me to perceive differently. That's when I learned the whole life. Till my college, third year, I only knew that tricks always worked. And that gave me a so sure factor that I was able to think through forward. No, 4 steps ahead and find and write the solution. Much ahead than my friend. Because the confidence I held, not because of kind of work out the problem. If I go to my chemistry lab, I'll just simply tell the salt. I will not do the experiment. I'll simply say the salt and do it after that and prove that is what I said is correct. So these fun games I used to do because I had an added advantage of seeing through things. No, the extraocular vision capabilities was already inside me, but I was not able to understand those things till I had these words, dyslexic, extraocular, all these words like this. These kids will also figure out their possibility. So you have to understand what they are capable. So ADHD kids, why they are hyper? Swamiji beautifully puts it, they have 200 monkey energy. So normal kids or special kids, they have lots of energy. So how you give the activity to hold the energy is important. My son, including my son, was a ADHD where he used to run from morning to evening that I'll get tired. So what do? Give a Montessori school where they have to do things by themselves. These Montessori equipments and activities really helped him to focus. I know sometimes he'll be on the walls of the room, but it's okay. I put him in a school where they said it's okay and he's confident. I told him reading, writing is not important because your mom never did that very well, and something more is important, that it will happen to you. You trust that space. And to my surprise, when he was 6 years, 7 years, he never read. But when he's 8, 9 years now, he's a pro in reading. He said, Mama, the other day, he was saying, I read something I want to share. I said, already you shared with me. I was so happy that he said that word, I read something, I shared. Understand very clearly, all this reading, the way they teach you reading, the way they teach you writing is all incomplete. The Montessori way of doing things is much more beautiful, where there is a step of process in doing things. Swamiji actually spoke about this Montessori method, and so beautifully he said the perfect method for kids. So please go ahead where it's more of focused, driven, self-driven activities, how we learn things, rather than with textbooks and notebooks and without any pictures and rote learn and write again. Just chalk and talk world is not good for kids. Where there's a lot of celebration, lot of multiple intelligence used, that's the school these kids need to go. So put them in the school, that will make them very complete. Saying that, we'll move to the next question about the autism kids. How we are supposed to help these autism kids in a normal school against bullying. That's what I was talking before also. Talk to the teachers and ask them and tell them to be very sensitive, bring the friends home, make a Timely function, bring them for a party. No, get involved in their life, be part of them, celebrate with them, make your child's incompletion as part of them and with them, so that it looks the fun is happening with them, not at them. There's a lot of difference when we put an effort. It is not happening against them, rather they will be part of them. Actually, all the kids feel very complete and try to help them. Even the other day, the kids were drooling because they did not have the fine motor skills fine for their mouth to move. So when these special kids try to talk, lots of saliva comes out. And I see some kids go and wiping them. It's such a beautiful act. The same kid who was trying to bully really helps out these kids. So they have the innate nature of helping each other. But that doesn't happen till we become part of their family. Otherwise, it's like they are looking as though it's mocking, bullying, and all kinds of things. But as such, all are kids. Kids are never hurting. They don't have the violence and anger that the society holds as adults. So take them to them and make them understand and make them feel more complete when they understand each other. Become a part of the family. So as much as you become part of them, enjoy with them, make fun with them, and these kids also become part of them, even though they don't know how to express. You be the expression for them, stand up for them in that way, that they are a possibility. Then you'll see a huge advantage, whether physically handicapped or mentally there is so many things going on. The life is going to be so beautiful. 1 in 6 child has something different wire in the brain. That is what statistics says. 1 in 6 children has a different brain chemistry. So it is not wrong. It's just we are all different. We are made to be different, and we are here with a different concept on planet Earth. When I met Swamiji, I understood the whole puzzle was clear. Very clear what I want to stand up for life. I want to stand up for these children. I want to stand up for all the children in the world to bring up them in the way Swamiji tells. It's so beautiful how these Gurukul kids are. We don't know who is special, who is poor, who is rich, nothing. All the slow learners become great. All the special kids become one with them. Everything is so beautiful. Each one helping each other. It's like 5 fingers. It's so beautiful. We never realize the advantage of five fingers, that each one is unique. Each one you think is a special kid. Like you have five special kids. That's all mom says. But the five special kids are so beautiful. I'll tell you the completion story I had. So I go to the school and I tell this Gurukul teacher that my kid is special. No, he doesn't know reading, writing, because he was around 6 to 7 years. So I tell her. And then she thinks, already the ADHD and he's very hyper. Oh, he can't read and write. So let's no do things much different. So she goes and I send her for a training to the parent school that is in Chennai. There is one more school in Chennai where we send for training for these teachers. So when she goes and asks, Ma, Advait's kid is a special kid. How do I handle it? And to her surprise, the teacher who coaches said, no, he is perfectly fine. I worked with him for 4 years and he is just as normal as any other kid. He's just hyper. And she gets a shock. She comes back to running to me and she said, why did you say this? Usually mom with special kids try to hide it out while I go tell a normal child as a special child. I said, I'm very clear, he is very special to me. He is a special child. And I don't want you to force to teach him the reading and the writing the way the society does. Swami is very clear that ABCD, teaching them like ABCD and teaching them logic in the first part of their life only spoils their whole complete space. Because the possibility exists is become a disadvantage. For example, learning English. We teach English. First thing children start seeing as pictures. So if they learn to read as pictures, as cat, as C-A-T, as a picture. I'm not saying as a picture, visual picture. I'm saying C-A-T, the letters as pictures. Again, I'm repeating. The letters C-A-T as a picture itself. So when we teach the kids as pictures, they're able to store much better, they're able to cognize it much better, they're able to do the reading much faster. Because when we start reading, we go word by word by word. That the level of seeing itself, the speed reading itself is very less. Versus they see as pictures, they're very fast. So I wanted him to learn as pictures. And these teachers go on seeing C-A-T cat, M-A-T mat, R-A-T rat, all that and confuse the brain. So I don't want them to confuse the brain. I want to be very clear that they teach them as pictures. So that happens when you let the kid to understand themselves. So when you give that option, that is more better. Same thing with writing, making them write when their fine motor skills are not fine, their hand-eye coordination is not fine, is not correct. But when they start at 8 years, they become so happy to write, they even write a book. There was a girl who did not write till 8 years in Gurukul. So this parent came and said, very big concern, he doesn't write at all, she doesn't write, what do I do? I said, nothing, I'm so happy she didn't write till 8 years. And to the mother's surprise, she started copywriting all Swami's book in her notebook. She said, Madhvai, can I just copy this book? I said, wow, you can. So she was so happy to write because she has never done writing in her life. Like that, one by one, when we understand the deeper understanding behind reading, writing, it becomes beautiful. And Montessori really helps us with all these things. To be who you are, to learn through a lot of things rather than labeling them. That's the best way to teach these autism kids through multiple intelligence. They can learn, and where we call it a celebration learning. How they want to learn. If they're good in music, let them learn in music. If they're very good in visuals, let them learn as pictures. Let's help the kid learn how they can learn it rather than force fit things and make them feel bored and pressure with exams and all kinds of incompletion. So that's what I would say. The third thing, Third question I'm having is here the question about what is stimuli. Stimuli is a group of kids, making them part of our family and making them feel that we are part of them and they are part of us. So when you bring the friends and all the kids who they are related to at home and keep constantly interacting with them, they will also help this child. Understanding this child needs an extra help, that's all. An extra push also to make them practice and make them stand up that they are also a possibility here today. So that is what happens when you bring the stimuli. So the next question I have is what is the 21-day program, Ingenious? So somebody is asking about the Ingenious program. Now I will give you the clear picture of Ingenious. Before we go to the Ingenious program, we want to play a nice beautiful video. This is about the Nick. He doesn't have his hands and legs. I don't think anything can be more disabled and disadvantaged than how he holds his space and how the mom thinks about him and being so incomplete. So let's take a view at this video now and then I will explain.
Where do we go when hope runs out? When we're empty? When there's nothing left?
Sometimes I get so tired, just trying to find a place to lay my head. I look up to the sky, I feel the warmest light comfort me. I've seen the great heights, reminding me I'm alive. I don't wanna die, I don't wanna waste another day or night. I know there's something more than what we're living for. I see it in the stars, I feel it on the shore. I know there's something more. That's true in my case, to just believe. I've seen the great heights, reminding me I'm alive. I don't wanna die, I don't wanna waste another day or night. I know there's something more than what we're living for. I see it in the stars, I feel it on the shore. I know there's something. This world may crumble into the ocean, it could all end tonight. I undermine you, then try to find you, my only source of light. I am
tried to commit suicide. I had lost my hope. I tried to drown myself, but I couldn't do it. God had a plan for my life, to give hope to other people through my story.
No, there's something more. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna waste another day or night. I know there's something more than what we're living for. I see it in the stars, I feel it on the shore. I know there's something more. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna waste another day or night. I know there's something more than what we're living for. I see it in the stars, I feel it on the shore. I know there's something more. I don't wanna die. I don't wanna waste another day or night. I know there's something more than what we're living for. I see it in the stars, I feel it on the shore. I know there's something more. I know there's
It's a wonderful video that we just saw on Nick, who doesn't have his hands and legs, but the most popular person in the world now. He has written, there are so many books, there's a full forum, the foundation, there's so much to Nick today because he decided to stand up. He decided that even he has a purpose in the world. If he can stand up and say, it is possible, the whole world will say it is possible. So he is going to stand up and become a coach, a life coach for all of us. So how Swamiji has guided everybody to feel that we are all leaders. Now you see this Nick standing up today to be what he is. He did not have incompletion. Yes, he tried to commit even suicide. And he was feeling so left alone. But only one thing, like how in my life I understood, everybody is also ugly duckling like me. Nick also understood that everybody is feeling left alone, not only him. And everybody is unique, not just him. When your child feels that everybody is unique, he is going to feel very powerful. He is going to stand up. And then little extra mile that he needs to go, he will commit and be inspired and start practicing to be who he is. He will stand up and be inspiration to others. That is what happens when these kids stand up in life and say, I was an autism kid. And can you believe I was labeled. I was the one who was that day getting bullied. When they stand up and say, the whole world looks at them, wow. If an autistic person is able to stand up on the stage and say, why not I? So they become a beautiful coach for all others in life who have all the advantage and they are feeling left out. That is the irony of the whole thing. They have everything but they feel left out. But here is a child who grew up to say, see, I can stand up. So all the parents should hold that space that my child is a leader of tomorrow. And that is a beautiful space that Swamiji beautifully defines. And he has create a wonderful program where each child is a genius. And each child can be a leader, a leadership program that he has created, a 21-day program as unique as it is, that never before it was tried to have a program for children for 21 days. But Swamiji has gifted us this program, and he guides it, and he mainly initiates the children. What is the initiation? He redefines their brain chemistry. Once the children, see, autism or any special kid has decided to be like this. They have come down and made a conscious decision how they want to be in their life. So the brain starts happening. They say very beautifully, within 6 months, when the child is born, the consciousness, the brain chemistry is all fine. And as 6 months old, the child starts displaying different way of communicating to the world. So when the child is 6 months, they're able to deduct the first part of how this autism starts settling in. The child make a conscious decision of how they want to be. They want to be withdrawing from the world because they feel afraid or they feel not comfortable, they feel left out, whatever at that point the children are deciding. So they start seeing the different space they started occupying in their life. As old as 6 months, these children start displaying the new way of living. So as old as 6 months, we can start working with them. They start falling down into the social coordination and all other things. So these children slowly start developing. They have a different set of rules in them, where they call special children. They are special because they are extra special. That is how we are going to say it. So Swamiji has designed a program for special kids, for disabled kids, for sick kids, for normal kids, all of us, and makes a huge difference, not just physically helping us with understanding, right understanding like what we are having today, also the initiation, which is the most important initiation, especially the special kids that we have had. And we have had autistic kids and disabled kids, and we have seen a huge change in them. Normal kids itself, we have seen change. In special kids, extra huge changes that we have seen. See, it's like this. If you teach some technique and tricks for a normal child, he is going to learn to one extent. If you teach the same thing for a child who is already very talented, what happens? It's the same thing. For these special kids, if you give an extra push, and they're going to be extraordinary in their life. So when Swamiji initiates these kids for 21 days, he restructures the whole brain chemistry into a new dimension. The whole dimension changes. Their impossibility starts reducing. Their way of doing things, the understanding, the communication with others, the socializing which is missing, starts changing in their whole life, start becoming different. So that's where this ingenious program, it's like a must for every child. It's like a vaccine. How we give vaccination for chickenpox, like 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, repeatedly in a proper period of time to make them immune to the whole thing, chickenpox. Same thing, this is a vaccine for the mind, where we always go into the depression of impossibility. Now he is making a vaccination that life is possibility. Life is I can. I will be able to achieve anything when I stand up and make the decision and commitment for that. I take the responsibility with integrity and authenticity. Everything is a possibility. When I am so sure, everything changes in my life. Nobody believes me when I say I'm dyslexic now. Nobody sympathizes with me. That's because now I have stood up. Like that, every child will feel when they stand up, when you take them and they see a big advantage of this program and they start understanding life much better. they start seeing a huge difference, and you as a parent will feel lot relieved, lot more satisfied, and you will understand a greater picture of the possibility that they exist. So this is a 21-day program, not only for the special kids, sick kids, slow learners, all kinds of children. Some kids are even drug addicts, alcoholic. The teens up to 16 years, they can have a huge advantage, and it's amazing. Whatever it is, whatever type of kid they are, they have a higher advantage than adult. Adult are the one who really needs lot of work, because they get into depression, they get into so much of incompletion that nobody, how many ever times, whatever they do, they don't come out. It's very difficult for adult to come out in their patterns. But whatever patterns the children are holding, they are children. So easily they can move out and make the decision. When parents also feel complete, that children are amazing, that's it. They are amazing in their life, and they become extraordinary to tell their story to the world and make the world itself a different place. So they have an added advantage when they attend these programs. So this is a 21-day program. If you want any details of this program, immediately contact education at nithyananda.org. So you can have the city coordinators, whoever helped you to come to this program today. Also, you can write to them, or you can write to education.nithyananda.org at nithyananda.org. It's an email address. It's education at nithyananda.org. You can send us a mail. We can give you the complete detail, how many times the program happens and where all it happens, and such beautiful places Swami has chosen for this program to happen. So please come with your child. Only thing, you have to have an attendant, because the child needs little help. So you can get all the details, what are the requirements and what is the advantage and everything. We'll give you a complete detail if you send a mail or you contact your city coordinator. Next thing, I want to tell you about a very important process, that is the completion process. The whole thing lies on completion. Whether it is a normal kid, whether it's a special kid, whoever it is, even the adults, the parents have to complete where they went in completion, and the child has to complete. When the unsaid words, the pain points that are inside you are complete, where you have the misunderstanding which created the pain points, which created the incompletion, when you understand that, it expands you so beautifully. So Swamiji has given a process for all the kids and all the adults every day. Please complete with your child. Make sure you sit with them, make them understand, make them feel complete, and also you complete all the unsaid words. Where you started feeling the child was, something wrong with the child, something is not right, or how they miss the whole life in thinking that something is wrong. Whatever it may be, talk to them. Say where you start picking up these things, how you felt, where you missed out the whole thing. Completely you tell them and let them also express. By you being authentic, they learn to be authentic. If the parents are authentic, obviously the children are going to be very authentic with the space. So talk to them, make them understand, and every day sit with them. If you can bring their friends sometimes and into the completion process, that is wonderful. But every day, especially when you are with the special children, ask them whatever they want to express, let them express. It's not going to be so simple as the other child that they're going to express to you, but they have their own listening space where they are going to complete with you. So whatever it is, you ask them, did you feel like this when somebody said this? But that's not the right idea. You have to hold. You are a possibility of tomorrow. Never ever shift from that. So give them confidence, speak for them, make them understand and give them the right understanding. I can. And they are a good listener. We talk too much but never listen. They talk very less but they are very good listeners. So understand this. They are a great listeners, and you can talk to them and make a huge advantage of who they can be. So please, let's conclude the whole thing from the beginning. But don't forget to have a completion session with them also. It's okay if they're only listening and you're doing the talking for them and you, but still worth it that completion happens. The incompletion, unsaid words is what messes up. So they are able to understand lot of things. One thing which I told you, don't forget, if your kid is autistic, is what is being told by the doctor, just by a behavior report, please go and get a EEG scan, so that if you find there's any brain seizures, you can treat that, and treating that makes the brain complete in making your child complete to behave as normally as any kid. So they have found out 50% of the children who are being labeled as autism have been seen there is a lot of improvement, extraordinary improvement, by attending to the problem in the right way. So don't forget to get a EEG scan for your children. That's respect to the autism. Let's go over the full thing today, what we spoke, and let's conclude with the understanding how these special kids are extra special, more authentic, more beautiful. If there is no black, white is not going to be beautiful. Contrast makes things beautiful. These special children, we special children, are a unique possibility that keeps telling the humanity about the possibility that exists in the world. In spite of so many things, we can be leaders. Why can't you? That's what we say. If so many things are disadvantage for me and still I'm able to stand up and lead a life so beautiful, why can't anybody stand up? When I say this story, everybody is able to stand up and be great in their life. I'm able to help so many parents and so many children today because I am dyslexic, because I am sensitive. I understand their space, your space, work with children worldwide. That's how now you stand up with your child. They will be an extraordinary being in the space they occupy, and one day they will be in front of the mic talking to the world how their parents held themselves so beautifully. That is a possibility. Don't misunderstand with people that they do not understand. Like you never understood till today when I said about this left hand people trying to open a door. They do not also understand because nobody told them. We are still in unconscious space where we do not see a lot of things. We perceive based on our own options. Swamiji beautifully puts it, kids only see, but we perceive. The difference is we have interest, we have an agenda in our head, only that is visible for us. But a child sees everything. So we are not in the space of a child. So always we land up in only not understanding, even if it is as close as our own friend. So when we open the door, we are very comfortable, so we forget it. When we are so comfortable, we have forgotten something. But when it takes the left-hander, they have to do all kinds of gymnastics to open a door. But that's how it is. The minorities, that's how it is. So special kids are just a minority. It's nothing special about that. It's just another world which they exist. So let's go over the whole thing before we conclude. The first thing we spoke, part 1, we spoke about the advantage that these special kids have. They are unique, they are very authentic, they are very courageous, they are very sensitive, and they have extra special talent. So when we coach them beautifully, they are going to be extraordinary in their life. The second thing we spoke about, the misunderstanding. How we deprive the whole growing up of these special kids. Then we spoke about they are not smart, they do not understand, they are felt all alone, and they are so weird, and they do not have a life. They are very different. That's all our misunderstanding, and that is not going to make us feel complete, and we have to get the right understanding for each and everything that we are going to see the next. The missed out portion of it. Like how we miss out even understanding as simple as what happens with a left-hander. There's so many facts like that. So many things which we don't understand. That's why when we see a fact, amazing fact, we are like, wow, I never knew about that. So we are so amazed about the fact because we never realize, we are not an aware person. We are not listening in our life. When we start becoming very authentic, when we are integrated to what we are doing, the clarity happens. When the clarity happens, we start seeing, then perceiving. When we start seeing, we also start observing so many things. But we are amazed by so many small, small facts. And then we are like, wow, I never knew that. So many simple things that we miss out. And same thing happens to the others. They never understand what is a special kid unless they have one. So don't blame them. Don't get incomplete when they label or bully your children. Rather, get them to the right understanding. Get them to part of your teamly and enjoy with them. And not mock at them. How can they dare say this to my child? So the miss out area is we have to stand up for these children. We have to make it as a practice to go extra mile to make them practice. They get very lazy. In hiding behind saying they are autistic, they are special, they get very lazy. Don't let them. They have to practice, and that's where we need extra support. Extra mile that we need to hold their hand and go till they are ready. So practice is very important. Handle their bullying as a teamily, as a fun, not as a mockery. So everybody makes fun of some kid in the school. If there is a special kid, they'll pick on him. If there is no special kid, they'll pick on somebody else who are holding that space. That's all it takes. So if your child as a special kid holds a confident space, nobody will bully them. It's only the space which creates the place. So teach them that science. Teach them the science of completion. Teach them to create space. That is the most important thing, that every day the parents have to take responsibility. Then we understood they have a special talent. They can create a space that I can as a possibility and use this talent to be displayed, that they are a possibility of everything. Then we saw the Nick video where amazingly, without an hands and legs, that's the impossibility space, he's become the world famous. So hold every child as a possibility till they are in a position to take care of themselves. Bring them to Swamiji, get them initiated to a better being, handling themselves. They can become, we have seen kids, they can take care of themselves. So to that extent, it's a possibility that Swamiji can help, and it's amazing difference that happens in these children. So bring them to Swamiji through this 21-day program where you'll see the added advantage of how they are all genius in this world. So saying that, and one more thing I want to add up is the point about this parenting workshop. Even every month, if you start understanding and attending, you will exactly understand how Swamiji wants to give you this whole program. How it's an amazing program that makes us more and more complete. When we feel more and more complete, we are going to hold that space for our child. Start bringing up the child, not out of fear, not out of greed, but we will give the right understanding to our child. Again and again, we are so complete by all these things which was incomplete in us. There's so many things we are unable to do in our life. We will start completing with ourselves, and we know, and no more hiding behind our own curtain, creating a hypocrisy. What I don't know, I'm going to tell you that in front of everybody. So like these special kids, you can come out being more authentic. Your inner image and your outer image can start sinking in. You can be who you are. That's what these special children tell you again and again. Now let's listen to them and start opening up of who we are and stand up for them, becoming a leader today. So that's what Madhvet want to conclude with all these things that Swamiji has beautifully given us as a beautiful parenting session for the special kids. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming today. It's wonderful each and every one of you are here today and we share this. So never again get incomplete when somebody mocks at our children, or never feel incomplete when they say they are feeling so special, that's why they are behaving like this. Stand up for them. I know they are confident, I know they are more smart and they have more talent. So always stand up, always remember this message in you. And thank you so much for being here today. Nithyanandam. Let's close with a prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
In the Gurukul, under the guidance of the rare living incarnation Paramahamsa Nithyananda, with the combination of ancient Vedic knowledge of life and the global standards of the most modern student-based education, the Bliss curriculum includes quantum memory, multiple intelligence, mind-body learning, and the whole brain learning. This will lead your children to blossom into high achievers and to be the most successful leaders of tomorrow.